Welcome back to London Beautiful Life, and today we're at Tulleys Christmas Lights Festival press night at Tulleys Farm. Firstly, we're at the Christmas lights for Tulleys. Have you A, been to Tulleys before, and B, are you excited for it?
We haven't before. No, but yes, we are, yeah, exactly. The short answer, no and yes.
You guys are like finishing each other's sentences.
Yeah, we just intertwined.
We have become two peas in a pod. Like, there's so many things I do now that you...
We linked up, we're synced up now.
You're stealing my personality.
Actually, I'm going to go straight into Big Brother. So obviously when Farida came in and started saying that, I didn't agree with what she said, only because it wasn't thrown in our faces, especially in the edit, and you guys are literally in sync right now.
Yeah.
But
that's how he was from like day 3 in the house. Obviously Farida coming in and saying what she was saying was a little bit of a throw off because she doesn't really know what's going on. She's not been in the house. She's not the person who can comment on that. But you know, we had the little dip in the road, and it just made us stronger anyway. So
she is a queen though, so I do like Farida.
Farida. We're living in Farida's world.
Yeah. So actually being in the house, how was it? Was it intense? Do you notice the cameras or do you not? I know everyone says they don't, but do you actually at times?
It is very intense, and because you're obviously in a house full of people you don't know until you get to know them. Cameras, you notice the cameras, but you get used to them, and then it's just like a roller coaster of emotions. So yeah.
I think it's a case of, you know, they're there, but because it becomes such a norm, you just do what you would do anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like they affect people. They might affect some people, but definitely not for me or for you.
No, yeah.
Right, so who are we still in touch with and who are we not? Because it seems like since the show, for me, watching the show, it did seem like, yeah, you guys might have found each other annoying at times, not just you two, but everyone. But it seems to be quite harmonised. But since the show, it seems very messy. What is going on?
It's a little bit post-show.
I mean, you mentioned on the podcast recently about Jenny and what your mum said, and that took me by surprise.
I think for me it was, since getting out, you see and hear a lot of things. So for me, I think it didn't help going on the podcast, but I'd been so wound up, and I think it's hard because people you think you're close to in the house, you get out and you realise how you actually weren't. So I think for me it was a lot of hurt, but I don't have any bad blood towards her. I think it's just, it is what it is, but I'm not in contact with a lot of people from the house now. It's only really...
That's quite a short amount of time not to be in contact.
Yeah, I suppose. I think I speak to, well, obviously Elsa, Tasia, Tate, Feyisola, a little bit with Zila, but that's about it. Cameron, a little bit with Cameron, Kay.
Emily's here tonight, so you can chat to her.
Yeah, well, we're about to, yeah.
And also, when it came to that show as well, when it comes to like when you see the edits, did you A, rewatch it, and B, were you a bit like, why is it being edited like this?
We haven't rewatched it yet. We don't really want to just yet.
Not anytime soon. Yeah. I think once you've just lived it, so it's so intense in there, and it's a lot to watch back as well. I think we probably will down the line.
Yeah.
So as far as the edits go, we watched like 1 or 2 episodes.
And they were our favourite days.
Yeah, it was just our favourite days, yeah. So
Big Brother, crazy, especially for you guys, and was a crazy whirlwind. How was it for you guys? And also, can I just ask about welfare? Do you have good welfare that's still contacting you guys?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welfare keep in touch with us, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. They helped a lot.
They helped a lot, and that's
did.
the thing. We had quite a crazy journey in there, so we needed the support.
Like,
but we
feel
have
like
each other.
Especially us. Like, you know, like when I was coming out of the show, I said I'm gonna be crawling out
Literally,
the door. Like my
get me
claws
out
are out. Like, jeez. Like my birthday, and it was so bad. And then like
so
code game,
bad.
and then in prison, and then the
Fake
work,
eviction,
like,
you got to go on, all of it, the whole thing.
Jeez, yeah. So we were crawling out the house.
Yeah.
We did see Tasia do have her, when she turned 19, we saw her pop the champagne bottle. I don't really remember that for your birthday.
Right, so do you know what? That's the funny thing that wasn't shown on the show, but
Yes.
like people sang happy birthday to me in
Italian.
They
Yeah.
baked a cake for me as
Yeah.
well. Then Tate made that lasagna from like
Yes,
scratch.
literally.
So like
And
all
that
these
was-
things weren't shown.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that was one day after Code Game as well. One day after Code Game.
One day after Code Game.
So
people
things were getting
still-
squished, you know. Me and
Yeah.
Jenny, we took the eyeballs out the jar, put it in each other's mouth, and took it out each other's mouth.
Yeah,
so
we
we
were
were
all
on
passing
pretty
it,
good
yeah.
terms, kind of making out pretty much, you know.
Yeah, that,
so yeah.
honestly.
Well, I was going to say I actually found this weird late in life, the finale, because it wasn't like that for the rest of the series. But then all of a sudden they want to turn it into the Real Housewives or like Secret Lives of Wives reunion. What was that all about?
Yeah, what was that all about? That's a good
The
question.
finale
Jeez,
was
like,
hell,
it
I'm not
felt
gonna
like
lie.
the Sam and Nancy show.
Literally, it was like, let's
why-
come for Sam and Nancy, every opportunity they got.
Yeah.
And the minute they were putting me next to Zila, I was like, this is going to hit such. Do you know what I mean? Because it was so
God, yeah.
uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah, well, I guess they went it like kind of like not alphabetically, but nominationally. Like,
Eviction order, yeah, cool. Eviction order, yeah.
but that looked very uncomfortable when it came to you and Zila. Have you guys spoken since?
We started talking.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with us two, but like I say, the whole time I've said sorry for what I did in that situation, which is read a situation wrong, catch feelings to somebody. It's not the most malicious thing you could do in the world. And so I've extended that to me many times. So we're just working through that now. But I extended love to him 100%. And yeah.
Yeah.
But also, was that like blown out of proportion as well? Because I didn't really see it as I only saw like 3 clips of you saying that.
This is the thing, I caught the feelings, definitely. So if anything, it was me that's kind of embarrassed for everybody. But I feel like he had the most anger and aggression towards the situation. And I really couldn't understand why.
And you still tried to see the good in him.
Every time,
No
of
matter
course.
what happened,
And
yeah.
Yeah, and I still
That's
do.
why you reached out to him.
Yeah, I
You
reached
did,
out to him,
yeah.
and so I still see the good in him. It's just a shame it went that way, you know.
Yeah.
It really is.
And then could you maybe see like Jenny's point of view when it's like she maybe just started not liking you guys just because you guys kept on thinking that she wasn't like, it was kind of like a double-edged sword kind of.
No.
No,
Because like the thing is, it just started when like I was like, I don't know why I can't really connect, because I was noticing like little looks and little like just little things like that, and I was like, oh, I'm finding her like disingenuous, so like that's why I can't connect, and I'll discuss it with her. And then the whole code game happened, got aired, whatever. And then since then like she just didn't see my point of view and kept saying like, oh, you can shove your cake up your bum, I don't care if you're crying,
Yeah.
you've got a bitch face, and I'm like, whoa, okay, right, then
This is
we're
it.
clearly never
Like,
going to see eye to eye.
This is the
so
thing.
that's
Everybody
fine.
talks about each other in there,
Yeah.
and we've especially seen it looking back. Me in the secret rooms, I knew that was happening, and so I was fully aware of what we were doing. But for everyone else, it was like their shit didn't stink, and it's like it definitely does. Like we all chat here because we're in a house with each other. That's what happens. And everyone apologised to Colgate because they understood that as well. But then it kept happening again and again. And we were just like, we're the only ones actually owning up to our in here. Nobody else is. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, because once we came out, we're watching the diary rooms, and we're like, oh, so you were
So you
talking
did
about
hate
us.
us. We knew it.
You were talking
They
about us.
did.
Okay, then.
GB News, it's done so well since it started. How does it feel to be a part of that family?
It is incredible because we are the #1 news channel in the country now, have been since July. So how many months is that now? July, August, September, October, no, 5 months. 5 months at the top, so that's incredible. I think when we started out, nobody thought that was going to happen. I mean, they hoped and prayed it would, but here we are. I mean, not even 5 years old, and dominating. So it's really, really brilliant. It's so good to be a part of the breakfast show, and it's so nice as well when you see people and they just say, look, we switch it on in the morning with you guys at breakfast, you and Eamon or you and Stephen, and then we just keep you on throughout the day, keep on the channel. So it's so nice that people just have us on in their cars or in the lounge or in the kitchen. Such a nice feeling.
Why do you think the GB News people have turned on to GB News and turned off like shows like BBC and ITV?
I think GB News is different because it's got warmth and a bit of personality with the news. I think that's what people want now. I mean, if you're going to switch on the news in your lounge when you're, just chilling out, or maybe you're making the breakfast with the kids in the kitchen, you put on the news, you want something that feels like it's your friend telling you the news, and they're having a bit of a chat, and you feel like you know them, and you know their personalities, you know what's going on in their personal lives a little bit. I think that's what makes us a little bit different. I think that's why people keep tuning in.
You've also had great guests since the show started, and also quite challenging ones. You just did Rachel Reeves. What's the one interview that's really stood out to you?
I think it was really interesting talking to Rishi Sunak just before he actually had just called the general election, and we were like, what are you doing? Why are you going so early? So that was really fascinating. Fascinating talking to the Chancellor yesterday, just after the budget. Obviously, had been very, very unpopular, that budget. Only popular, I think, with about 3% of people, the polls are saying today. So we were like, what was that about? But then I've worked with the likes of Peter Andre. I was working with Peter Andre for 3 or 4 months on GB News, and that was just incredible, just doing really fun stories with him. So we do everything from the fun celebrity stuff all the way up to the Prime Minister and the Chancellor, and it's such a privilege to be able to speak to anyone and everyone, really.
This year, you've had a crazy year, Married at First Sight. Yeah. How was that?
Yeah, I mean, I loved the show, loved filming, I loved every part of it. Coming out's been tough, I think, kind of navigating life and getting used to the other side of it, and like people recognise you in the street. Like I've had really good reception though. Everyone that I speak to has been lovely and like positive messages online. But I think for me, because obviously me and Beck had split up, that was tough. I think watching the relationship back and watching it all unfold again was probably one of the toughest things I've ever had to do. One of the strangest things I've ever had to do, for sure. Yeah.
What would you say are the highs and lows of going on the show and on that show, and specifically when it comes to TikTok? You get all these TikTok warriors who seem to love to comment and find out every nicking little gritty detail about your life.
I mean, the thing is, for me, the high was falling in love. Although it didn't work out in the end, it was just amazing, like to fall in love, meet someone that I really got on with. The low side was just the rumours. I had rumours from day one that just weren't true, and I just wasn't prepared for that. Because you can like release a statement, but people at the end of the day just believe what they read or see. And that was the hardest thing. So I knew my personality would come across, so I wasn't worried about that. But yeah, reading stuff about yourself that's not true, that was quite difficult. Yeah, hard to deal with. Yeah.
And also when it came to like mental health as well, when welfare, what was welfare like?
Welfare amazing on the show. You are so looked after, so supported. I think that's one thing I've learned actually. The show has taught me is to actually talk about your feelings. So I was someone that always laughed everything off and never really dealt with anything, but because when you're on the show, you're asked how you feel every day. Like, especially as a man, we're not used to talking about our feelings. So I've taken that into the outside world now. That it's fine to be emotional. It's fine to show a bit of vulnerability. It's fine to talk about how you feel and ask for some support sometimes. And a few of the cast have really supported me through some hard times afterwards. So that's what I'm taking from the show, like positive. Yeah.
Married at First Sight. What was it like?
Honestly, I genuinely loved it. Like, it was so intense, but I genuinely loved every second of it, as much as obviously it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But yeah, I loved it.
So when you first got offered or like were in the potential running to be on the show, what was going through your mind? Were there times you were like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this?
It was weird. I honestly didn't really feel nervous at all leading up to it. I was just so excited the entire time. Even on the wedding day, I didn't get nervous until I actually walked down the aisle. I think I was just excited to see if it did actually work for me, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it didn't. But
well, there's a lot of drama, especially outside of the show as well. And with the press and people on TikTok getting involved, how does that affect you mentally, and what are welfare like as well?
The welfare team were honestly amazing. They are so good, and I genuinely felt really looked after. But I think, yeah, the press or the public and everything do have an effect. Like, I went in so confident, but it does knock your confidence a little bit, I guess, where I wasn't, I guess, overly liked. You do get a fair bit of hate, and it's just consistent at the beginning. But yeah, I still don't have any regrets. I'm still really glad I did it. I probably could have acted better in some situations.
And also, when it comes to your friends and family, were they like, are you mad?
Yeah, 100%. But I think they weren't as shocked as most people, I guess, would be, because they kind of knew it was very much a me thing to do. I just tend to do anything that just takes my fancy.
So what would you say you've learned from the show? That could be about yourself as well, or about other people.
Yeah, I think I have a lot of patience that I didn't realise I didn't. I sort of just spat everywhere then. But yeah, I definitely have I definitely gained a lot of patience from it, and I think you just learn a lot more about yourself as well. And yeah, it definitely makes you take a long, hard look at yourself and your actions. And maybe I need to stop being so flirty, but...
But I'll obviously ask you about TV. When it comes to TV, Maths is back on again. What advice would you give to the new guys who are on the show, who are now reliving that life that you had last year?
I mean, I just think you have to take everything with a pinch of salt. Like, you've got to remember that it's a very highly edited show, but at the same time, like, people are going to either take to you the way that they will, they're going to like you, they're not going to like you, but you've just got to be true to yourself. And if you're true to yourself, then no one can say anything that's going to hurt your feelings at the end of the day.
Is that quite difficult as well when it comes to, when you see all the trolls, when it comes to your mental health, and what is welfare like as well?
I mean, welfare-wise, I feel like they've really supported me very, very well in the experiment and outside of it. I don't know, other people's experience is slightly different, but I think you have got to be a really thick-skinned person to deal with it. But I think majority of it is just like ignoring it and being like proud of who you are as a person. If you're very happy with yourself, then these trolls that sit at home on their computers, like, they're just jealous. Like,
you also did Love Struck High. When it comes to the two shows, which one did you prefer doing?
I definitely prefer doing Maths. I mean, like, Love Struck High was literally like it was so cheesy. So, I mean, watching it back, I cringe. I'm like, I can't even watch it. It's awful.
Did you know it was going to be edited like that?
I knew it was going to be more like a film rather than like your normal reality show, but like I genuinely did not for the life of me think it was going to be like some high school like Mean Girls vibe. Like I was quite shocked, and watching it back like all these years later, you're like, wow, it's even cheesier than I remember. Like it really is.
But we did have Lindsay Lohan as the commentator.
Iconic, because Mean Girls is like the best film ever, so like it was iconic. It couldn't have been anybody else because of the whole motive of the show. It worked really well, so yeah. And she said my name multiple times. I mean, Lindsay Lohan said my name, and she posted me on her grid, so imagine.
We're going to talk about the traitors. How is it when you were in there? Is it as crazy as it looks on television? Because we only see about an hour compared to how many hours you're doing.
Yeah, so I mean, we were filming long hours, stressful, but you know what? Lifelong friends, and that's like the main thing. Like I've taken from that. I absolutely loved every moment of it. Yes, it's stressful. Yes, I genuinely felt like I was going to get murdered every day, like for real. But it was so fun, and I loved it. So yeah.
Is your brain? Do you get more concerned about people thinking you're a traitor, even though you're faithful, or are you too focused on finding a traitor?
I think for me, I felt quite comfortable in knowing everybody kind of knew I was a faithful, so I didn't feel at risk of people thinking I was a traitor. But then that kind of gave me a little bit more ammo to speak out too much. So I should have just reined it in a little bit, but yeah. Also,
we've got to talk about Married at First Sight. What was that like? Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. It was a very, very long time ago, a bit of a whirlwind. I had fun, okay? I can't deny that it's been life-changing, but what I want people to realise is so many people view individuals that go on Married at First Sight as famous, celebrities, whatever. We're not. We're just Joeys. We're just people that went on the telly. We're no one special. And I think people need to stop thinking they're something. They're not. You married a stranger. It was on camera. Get over it. Move on. Stop trying to be some influencer. If you're going to do anything, do something good with your life. That's what I do. Okay? I try and help people. The internet is full of health and fitness advice, incorrect advice, and, do my glute workout, but I've got a BBL. Off. That's nonsense, okay? There are good people out there. There aren't many. A lot of people that go on TV aren't good people, and I just say that how it is, so.
So we're going to talk about Big Brother. How was it?
Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster because obviously I got evicted on the first night, then came back and made the final. Like honestly, I just feel like I can't do anything the normal way. I always have to just go on a random side mission. But yeah, I was really happy to make the final, and it was a great experience, one that I'll never forget.
So what would you say the challenge is on being in a house like Big Brother?
Yeah, I'd say my challenges were a bit unique because coming in later, there's obviously friendships already formed. So I did feel like an outsider at times, which is probably why I cried quite a few times. But I think in general, like it's very hard because you're away from your family. So the Big Brother housemates become your family. So when there's any kind of conflict, you do feel a lot more deeply. But then you're like, wait, I've only known these people for however many weeks. But it's just being without your family is definitely a challenge.
Well, a show like that can be so intense. Like 24 hours could probably feel like a week. And also it was really hard to see you be like, I don't think I've got any friends, because no one wants to see that on television. But why do you feel like that, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think it was hard because in my circumstance, like the people I was really close with, like Nancy, Sam and Caroline, had all left the week before. I'm actually seeing Nancy tomorrow. So
she's coming tonight.
Oh, and tonight. Oh yeah, and Sam as well. So yeah, I'm seeing them tonight and tomorrow. But I think, yeah, in that environment, you kind of, because I was only comparing my friendships with the time I'd been in there, obviously they were comparing it to a lot longer. So yeah, I think there was just an imbalance in friendship stages. So it just made me feel a bit lonely at times. But at the end of the day, we're all one big family who had that experience together. So I'm very grateful for it.
Have you had the chance to rewatch?
I've rewatched bits. I cried again watching the bit where my letter from home was read out, and Richard's. Sorry, I love my family so much, so that does get me. And I think all my family were crying too, so there was lots of tissues used up.
Big Brother, gotta ask you about it. How was it to start off with? How was it?
Amazing, honestly. Walking in late especially, because I was like, am I the drama? Is this about me? So yeah, walking in late was amazing, meeting the people, great, and then I got evicted.
To be fair, I actually wasn't too sure why. That was quite an early, surprising one. But
yeah. Look, I was really happy. I wrote down 3 weeks. getting past 3 weeks, that's all I needed, that's all I wanted.
You did 4 weeks, didn't you?
4 weeks! So yeah, I was really happy, and then, yeah, everything else was a plus.
So what would you say is the highs and lows of being on a show like Big Brother? And do you notice the cameras? I know people say they don't, but do you?
You actually don't? Well, I walked in and the first thing I said was, I spoke about my bowels. So I guess I didn't remember the cameras were there. Or maybe I just talk about my bowels too much. Probably both. But highs, definitely. Like, I didn't expect to meet friends for life. I know it sounds so cliched, but I didn't. Met people that I'd want in my life forever. The lows. The toilets. Oh my gosh, having to share toilets in a bedroom with people. I live alone. I'm going back to living alone. It's not fun. Who wants to share with 16 people? Maybe prisoners, I don't know, but not me. So
have you had the chance to re-watch the show as well?
No, and I will not be watching it back. No time soon. I might have way too much red wine this Christmas and watch it, but for now, it's a no.
So it seems a bit, I thought the show, everyone was quite calm and seemed to harmonise with each other, but since the show has finished, it seems very messy, and that late and live. I mean, well, I don't know, compared to other series.
Yes, so the late and live was, you saw my face, I didn't expect it. I was like, all the emotions, but yeah, I think when you're in there with all these random people for that length of time, of course it's going to bubble up. I think everyone got away from the cameras, they maybe saw some clips that they didn't really like, and then thought, you know what, let's talk about it. So there we are.
Did you even get an edge word in? Because they brought you up in Late Live, but then I felt like everyone was trying to pipe in about you.
I was like, is this just about me but not me? I was quite happy to do that, to be fair. So I got a bit overstimulated. I was like, I'm back here in this place. I don't need to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this right now. Let everyone else talk. And yeah. Speaking of which, Elsa and Marcus.
Oh, it's a reunion.
Oh, siblings. Sorry.
Talking about everyone, who are you still in touch with and who are you still not in touch with?
Mine is probably very obvious who I'm still in touch with.
Elsa and Marcus?
Elsa and Marcus. Zila, Tasia, Jenny, Cameron, Pharmacy, I love him. I'm trying to think who else is in the house now. I'm rubbish with names. That's not a slight dig to anyone. I'm just rubbish at names. But yeah, I think those, yeah.